Hey everyone, welcome in. This is Julie Max in the Maine Stamper. It is 8 o'clock on Monday night, and that means it's time for my weekly card class from Maine. I am so glad to welcome you in to my Happy New Year. This is October, and on October 1, all Stampin' Up! Demos start over. It's a brand new year for us. It's like we're heading back to school for the very first time, or it's like we're in a new place, a new space. And of course, some of us have really awesome new ideas, and that would be me. I always have lots of awesome ideas. I can't wait to share new things with you and with my team, my growing team. And I'm just really excited about it. So Happy New Year. And if you're a demonstrator, Happy New Year to you too. Tonight, we are working on the Bag of Bones bundle. And I have a scary story to tell you. First of all, hi Rhonda, Happy New Year. If you missed the beginning, it's because we're celebrating Stampin' Up's Happy New Year. And I know Rhonda's a demonstrator too. Okay, scary story. This is a little, I'm going to read you a storybook. This is the mini catalog by Stampin' Up. It started on September 6th, and it actually, all of these products were supposed to go and be available through January, I think the 4th of 2024, which is a long time out, right? We are less than 1 month into this brand new catalog. And the story goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a suite called the Bag of Bones. And lo and behold, there were some very popular glow-in-the-dark items, which we're going to play with a little bit tonight. And these embellishments right here, these bats and ghosts, they are now extinct. They are gone. They're sold out. They're no longer available. And it's really sad. I had planned my class for tonight a month in advance. This was I'm like, October, what are we on? The 2nd? October 2nd. I'm going to do Bag of Bones. I'm going to do a Halloween class. This is the only Halloween class that I'm going to do because I'm going to be jumping into Christmas really soon, and I'm excited about that. But I had this planned, and I was like, okay, my free embellishment, because they always offer the free embellishment with your card kits if you go $50 order with me. Free embellishment is the bats and ghosts. Now, fortunately, good news, I have 8. I have 8 packs of the bats and ghosts. So, hi, I'm seeing everybody jump on. Hi, Melissa, happy Monday. Hi, Patty. Hi, Deb. Hi, Janice. So I have 8 of the bats and ghosts to go around. So if you're interested in ordering with me this week, you will get one of these very, very exclusive bats and ghosts packaging. And I'm not going to tell you that they're going to be like in high demand, but if you have a pack of them, people will be hunting you down and probably offering to pay you more than what they're worth. Just saying. Okay, so we're going to jump into bats and ghosts and all that good stuff. This is my Halloween class, but my cards are not necessarily Halloween because I don't always, I'm not all orange and black. I'm going to show you the backs. These are the backs of the cards. I have Starry Sky, Basic Gray, and as your afternoon, I'm probably going the wrong direction here. This is the back of my cards. They probably don't look very Halloween-y. In fact, 2 of my cards from this class, you could definitely do anti-Halloween if you're not into the Halloween. One of them is definitely Halloween. It's going to be exciting. We're going to get over to my workspace. Keep saying hi as you jump on. I'd love to see you. Saying hello. I like to know who's hanging out with me. Hi, Michelle, in the craft room today. And we're going to get over to my workspace, talk a little bit more about Bag of Bones and other good stuff too. So the Bag of Bones, it's called Them Bones Suite. The Bag of Bones is the bundle. And we're going to be using this bundle tonight. We're also going to be using the embellishment goats, glow in the dark, bats and ghosts. Now I'm hoping that my little glowy things here have been glowing in my little fluorescent light. They are really cool. They have like a little translucency to them. They have adhesive backing, so you have bats, little tiny bats, and you have ghosts, right? So they are see-through. Now this is the ordering special. You're getting a pack of these, and I'm also sending you a pack of the 6x, not a pack. Let me back up the bus. I'm sending you a sheet of 6x6 glow-in-the-dark paper. Now this glow-in-the-dark paper should be back on November 6th. Maybe you want some for Halloween, making your Halloween cards. So I'm giving you even more. I mean, this week the offer is like banging good, right? You're going to get $35 order, you're going to get 6 card kits. $50 order, you're going to get my 6 card kits, 2 of each design that I'm making tonight. The embellishment and the 6x, and a sheet. 1 sheet, just to be clear, a single sheet of the 6x6 glow in the dark paper. My host code this week is GGHVWYKM, and I always offer this through Friday evening, end of day. Let's do a quick experiment. I'm going to turn off my fluorescent light for a second. Nope, that's not going to really, oh no, it is glowing. You can maybe see a little bit of the glow. It is really cool. When I came up earlier, sorry, bright light, my light's back on. it glows and it's really cool. Now this is like almost like a fine sandpaper. It's not easy to stamp on. My suggestion always with this kind of a texture is to punch it or die cut it and use it that way. It's going to be a lot more effective as well, because you're going to see the whole thing. If you stamp on it, you're taking away some of the glowing capability, right? Because you're covering it up. So it's not always good to cover it up. Like punch out some moons, some stars would be fabulous. You know, all kinds of good things. But that is the order special for this week, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about that because, oh my goodness, the embellishment, the bats and ghosts, it is the first item to be sold out completely from the catalog. Now, it will not be the last item. It is the first item. So just so you're aware, got to keep in mind, if you want some things, you got to get the things early because, man, they're high demand. Let's just talk briefly about World Card Making Day. This is coming up on Saturday. Stampin' Up! Is offering this as a free virtual event. You should sign up. You will get your supply list. You will get some card measurements if you want to stamp along with them. There's going to be 3 cards. They're using the Circle Sayings bundle, Earthen Textures bundle, and Heartfelt Hexagon, which is brand new with a punch. So 2 of them are punches. 1 has a die. But you can get all that information if you sign up for World Card Making Day. That is Saturday. I hope you guys are all going to be making cards on Saturday. I am holding an in-person event. We're going to talk a little bit about that. All my local friends very soon. I expect to see you at my house for a fun day. So starter kit, I want to talk about this very briefly too. Starter kit special starts tomorrow. Tomorrow is October 3rd. This is an amazing deal. So starting tomorrow, you can get 35% off your starter kit, or you can get 35% more of your starter kit. So if you want 35% off, you pick out let's see. Oh, nope. You pick out $125 worth of whatever Stampin' Up! Product you want, and you're going to pay $64.35. You are not paying shipping on that either. They're gonna pick up shipping. You'll be paying tax, and that's it. They're going to throw in a whole bunch of other good freebies. You're also going to get a ticket to the November online virtual event for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. That's a $77 value on top of that. Forgot about that, but that's awesome. Option 2, you get 35% more. So you're going to get $168.75. Go through the catalog, pick whatever you want, spend $99 on that plus your tax, right? And then boom, you are a demonstrator. Now, what does that mean that you're a demonstrator? That means you get to save 20% on all of your orders for the next 6 months, and you don't have to do anything else. You're not required to sell minimums. If you don't want to stay active, you can just, you know, save, and then drop off. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to sell. You don't have to do none of the good stuff. Now, if you join my team, my creative crew, I am there step by step with you. I have a small team, not a huge team, so I'm not, you know, you're not going to get lost in the shuffle of 500 demonstrators. And we do monthly meetings. We're ramping stuff up, so we're having a lot of fun. So think about the starter kit. If you're going to spend some money on Stampin' Up! This month in October, do the starter kit, get your value, and if you never order again, you never order again. But if you do want to order again, one of the great perks of being a demonstrator is pre-order, and pre-order starts tomorrow for the online exclusives. Stampin' Up's coming out with more product in November, okay? Another online exclusive. Demonstrators get to start ordering this tomorrow. If you want this in your starter kit tomorrow, you sign up to be a demonstrator, you can check out, we have a Meandering Meadow stamp set. We've got some really cute stamps and dies here. There's a little wagon here, a wheelbarrow, a fence. There's some rubber boots and a water can. There is some beautiful paper. This is the it's called Meandering Meadow Designer Series paper. It's gorgeous. Absolutely. I mean, like, this is spring. This is beautiful paper. And if you want this before it goes on back order, you sign up to be a demonstrator and you order it tomorrow. Like, that's it, right? We've got some cute little embellishments here. They're dragonflies and birds. They look very similar to the brass butterflies. There's some ribbon. Then there's this cute little set down here called Fluffiest Friends Bundle. There are some chunky critters here and some dies to go with. I love this little bird, and I think he'd be adorable on a Christmas card. So this is just a pre-order for demonstrators. There will be more available in the online store for everybody in November. Okay, so I wanted to bring that all to your attention because there's a lot happening right now in the world of Stampin' Up. Always a lot happening. And I hate for anyone to miss out on a really good deal, like the starter kit. I mean, that's an awesome deal. So we're going to use Bag of Bones. We're going to switch gears here and go to our class tonight. Photopolymer stamp. This is really fun. I didn't expect it to be as fun as it is, but it is a lot of fun. So we have a couple of great skeletons. This guy right here, he's limbless. So you can use any kind of arms, legs. It's basically kind of like Mr. Potato Head, but with stamps, right? You're putting all these things together. Now we have a cat and a dog. Super cute, right? My favorite sentiment here is eat, shriek, and be scary. I love it. We've got Boo to You, Bonjour, which is fun, right? Happy Halloween, no bones about it. You're a sweet friend. Now you can dress up your little skeletons with fancy hats, French berets, and there's even in the dies. Oh my gosh, there's so many dies. It's insane. I haven't even used them all. Your skeleton can have cowboy boots. He can have like cowboy hat. He can have a top hat. This looks like a top hat to me. There's stars in a moon. There's little he can have sneakers. Like you can put sneakers on your skeleton, right? There's some bats. You can cut out all the parts and pieces, all the hats. You can cut out a little bit of grass. And he can even have a bow tie. How cute is that, right? So these are the dies that I'll be using tonight. In my cards, I've already got them on magnet sheets just so that I have them handy. So this is a huge die set. Absolutely awesome. So that is the Bag of Bones bundle. And we're going to pop right into our first card. I haven't showed you cards yet, so this is going to be fun. This card right here, again, we're featuring some non-Halloween colors. This is Starry Sky. I have made some super long skeletons here. So I just want to show you the scope of my skeletons. Because this is the size of the skeleton right here, and he goes with a matching die. You can see that my skeletons are extra long. So I'm going to show you how much fun it is to play with skeletons. So let's grab out the card parts and pieces. Now when you get the card kits from me with your $35 order, if you don't want the embellishment, you just spend $35. You're going to get 2 of these card kits from me. For each card that I'm doing tonight. I'm going to separate out and just show you what all the parts and pieces are. This class is repeatable. You can watch it over and over again, and it will help you when you go to make your cards. If you're wondering, what did I do again? Because I mail them out a week later, and I'm on to the next class, and you might have forgotten how I put these ones together. So I'm going to assemble one here with you tonight of each card. I do have a nice card base already scored. It's beautiful. You will get your card bases scored. I don't score them for this class, but I do score them when I mail them so that they don't get bent up. So they will be scored in half and folded in half, I should say. You're also going to get PDF directions, which are fantastic. And that's going to help you out too. I'm going to bring in a scrap paper because we're going to do some really fun stuff. Now, as I'm getting all these parts and pieces out, you're going to see that this is not Halloween paper. In fact, if I flip it over, this is from Delightfully Eclectic. If I flip it over, it's purple paper. And you're going to see your card kit has blue and some purples and some black and white. So there's really nothing Halloween about this at all. You could totally take this card kit and make something very non-Halloween. Or if you want to, you can make it Halloween. I love when I can be so creative that you have so many options. Now you're going to notice that this piece of grape looks so different from what's on our card. And that's because Julie likes to play with ink, like a lot of ink. So we're going to play with Gorgeous Grape, Starry Sky, and Memento. We're going to make this paper absolutely the most gorgeous paper. Now this is going to be like transcend into whatever kind of cards going forward you want to do. This isn't just for this card. So this is an idea that you can take and just use and run with, right? So we're going to do 3 blendings of ink. So I'm starting with tone on tone. So this is the Gorgeous Grape on the Gorgeous Grape. And I'm just going to kind of come down about 1/3 or so. So get some ink on there. And I'm trying to be heavier on the top, but I'm also kind of leaving a little bit of it not completely filled in. So you can see here, so far hopefully you can see, darker on top now than on the bottom. So that's our first application. That's Gorgeous Grape. Next we're going to bring in some Starry Sky. Now I have to admit the Starry Sky is going to get a little bit lost on our card because we're going to cover up a good chunk of it. But man, when I was playing with it, did it look absolutely fantastic. Now for this one, I'm kind of starting more in the middle and working my way outward and upward and downward, right? So I want to blend the Starry Sky into the grape, and I also want to bring it down a little bit as I'm coming downward. And don't be afraid to blend. These are blender, you're supposed to blend, right? So blend, blend, blend. So now you can see we've got a couple of different colors going on here. Completely different from what we started with, right? But we're not done yet. This is where it really gets magical. Okay, so we've got Gorgeous Grape, Starry Sky. Now I'm bringing in one of my smaller brushes because I have all of my bigger brushes are labeled with colors, but I don't have one that's labeled for Memento ink. I never really thought about using the Memento ink for blending. Now I'm going to flip it upside down because it's easier for me to come from the top and come downward, but I'm coming in with black and I'm coming in strong. So here we go. We're going to bring some black ink in here, and this is going to give us a really cool kind of like Halloween-y look, but of course you can use this for other card ideas too, right? So we're bringing in the black. We're going to blend this right up into the blue. So we've gone purple, blue, and black. And it's just really, it's going to be so cool when we're all said and done. So here it is in all its magical glory. So hopefully you can see that well on the camera, but I just think that is the coolest thing ever. So if you're looking for a really nice background and you don't want the boring purple, which is gorgeous, of course. We love Gorgeous Grape. But you can really zip up things by adding ink and blending 3 colors together. So that is the blending of our part of our card class here. So you can see when it comes back onto this card base, it's like it's totally changed. Like this is what it looks like now. This is what it would look like if we didn't put anything on for ink. I mean, huge. I love it. I love to play with ink. I love to blend the colors. It's like one of my favorite things to do. So we're going to just pop this onto our card base and making sure I know which way it opens because I want the black on the bottom and the purple on the top. And this is probably really kind of inky. I'm going to bring this back in and just press just in case. Just in case. I need less ink on my fingers. Yeah, there's a little bit there, so we're good. Little shadow there. You can see I use all kinds of scrap papers. This was once a sketch design that I was working with for fun. Okay, so let's talk about the rest of our card here. Now, if you're doing this at home and you're playing with colors and what have you, I mean, you could put purple on here and it would be super pretty, right? But we're making this one a Halloween card. I'm going to show you how to make a Halloween card today. So this one's just going to come on here and you can decide how far up or down you want it to go. Maybe I'll come down a little bit lower this time so I can see a little bit more of the blue. As I put this on last time, I realized like it really covered up a lot of the blue and it kind of made me a little sad. Made me a little blue, to be honest, right? So there we go. We've got that going on here. Now we have, I think I'm short a white piece of paper because we have, you're going to have 2 of these per card. You're going to have this for your Happy Halloween. This is this, so I'm going to look back through my card kit and see, did I not cut one? I think I did not cut a paper okay, I'm short a paper. So we're going to, real quickly, I'm going to cut a piece of paper. First I'm going to check out my scratchy notes here. Happy Halloween, Happy Halloween. Did I write down what size I wanted? Black, white, well, we're going to have to measure. This is live. This is me doing a live card class. We're going to go with 4 inches by 3 inches. Well, that's pretty simple. We're going to make a quick 3 by 4. Please hold while I find some white paper. Oh, I have another scary story while I'm doing white paper here. Another scary story. This is crazy. I'm always checking the inventory reports from Stampin' Up, because I'm always looking to see, okay, what's back in stock, what's going on low, in case I need something. I want to order it before it goes unorderable. And would you think that white paper, white cardstock is, I just did that, I don't need it, I'm being silly. You would think that white cardstock should be readily available. It should never be on low inventory. Totally forgot what I'm doing here. Hi, I'm new. It's a new year. Happy New Year. I do not need the white paper. I thought I was missing this white paper, and if you look at this card and you get this card kit, you might think the same thing. So just work with me on this. We're gonna pretend that we are aware of what we're doing. I need to flip this over. I can't look at this dimensions. That's gonna drive me nuts. All right, let's bring in our skeleton. Let's bring in Starry Sky, and let's get back to work here. So we're gonna stamp our skeletons. Now we have 2 skeletons. Gotta find the guy without all the limbs. He's just got his body and his head here. And then we've got this guy here. He's kind of like waving at us. So we're gonna line up the 2 pieces that are the same size, and we're gonna get creative here. I'm gonna put this guy up here at the top. Hopefully he's stamped okay. He was pretty messy, but here he is up there at the top. Now to do the bottom, I'm gonna ink this up again, and I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna put his feet kind of down toward the bottom. So I've got my paper here to stamp off. So you're going to see here how I'm making an extra long skeleton, right? So we've got that guy done. Now let's do this guy right here. So again, he's going to come up here. He's a little bit shorter, so I'm going to just kind of put him over this way. And then I don't need him again, but I do need all his parts and pieces. So we're going to bring in legs and arms. We're going to make our Mr. Potato Head. Actually, I'm going to bring this over here. We're going to bring down his torso. Let's do his torso like to here. We're just pretending he's that long. Okay, this is going to work. We've got an arm and a leg. Oh, that one's going to be off the page here, and that's okay. He probably, you know, he probably didn't need that arm anymore anyway, right? We're going to stick an arm up there. So here's this guy. Just think it's so funny. Sorry that I'm laughing while I'm doing this. This just makes me laugh because it's hilarious. Okay, and then we got this one, and now we're going to do another leg here. And this is just fun. It's just fun to do these skeletons. I had no idea. When I was, again, I ordered this bundle quite a while ago, knowing that I wanted to do just one Halloween class. What was I going to do? No, I did the pumpkins, but I felt like that wasn't quite Halloween. That's more fall themed, right? So this one is definitely Halloween. And I had no idea this was going to be such a silly and fun set, like fun. So I'm only washing these off right now because I do need to, we're going to use the skeleton again. So I'm just going to come in here with my little chamois here, which I rinsed out the other day. It was filthy. I like the chamois because you can pick it up. You can clean off your block as well. Like you just wipe and go, right? Okay, I feel like there's still blue ink on there. Okay, so there we go. We have our little skeletons. Let's stamp our Happy Halloween. And hopefully we can finish this card up without too much more crazy things happening. So the smaller piece of white here is going to fit your Happy Halloween just beautifully, right like that. And that is the end of, nope, I am not done yet. I forgot I did some sponging. Let's do a little bit of sponging. It looks like I have Gorgeous Grape and Starry Sky, and I don't think I have out any of my blender. Okay, so, yep, this is my first class of the new year. So I'm going to just I'm going to wing it here. We're going to do this. I am currently looking for some daubers that will work. I think these will work. I need to label some more of them, but here we go. Gorgeous Grape. This is my Gorgeous Grape. So we're just going to go ahead and just kind of come in along here on the edges a little bit real quickly. And I only need 3 edges done because the bottom one's not even going to show. We're going to do Happy Halloween. Again, this is all optional. Like if you're not a fan of the extra little sponging, you don't have to do it. I just feel like it's very white paper and I felt like it needed like a little bit of something. Let me get these legs in here. Okay, so we're going to do 3 sides just like this. Now this is the once again Gorgeous Grape. Now we're going to come back in with a little bit of the Starry Sky, and we're going to pick up that it's almost like that fluorescent-y light type, you know, when you see the lights and it's like just got like a little extra shine on the end. I'm just hitting the very edges of this cardstock. So I've got the purple comes down a little bit farther. I'm trying to just hit the outside edges with the Starry Sky so that it has kind of a glowing, extra glowing effect to it. I don't know how to explain it. It's like part of the Halloween magic here. All right, one more time. And then we'll be done with this part and move on. And I do like to layer ink on ink on ink. There we go. So I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's just like a little extra bit of glowing. The blue kind of just makes it lighter somehow. Okay, so let's move on now. We're done with all these things. Let's put our card together. So on this black piece of paper, we have a couple of black cardstocks here, right? We're going to work with our skeleton bits here first. So let's start with the top. And we're going to put the top in. Hopefully my glue is still going because delay of game here, my goodness. All right, so we're going to just kind of mount and mat this, right? So this is going to be matted on the sides and the top. And now we're going to do the same thing with the legs. And if we overlap a little bit in the middle, it's okay. Okay, so just kind of focus on, or if maybe you don't need to overlap in the middle. Maybe it's going to come down. I have a gap this time. I feel like last time I had an overlap. we're not going to worry about that because we are putting our sign across in the middle here, and that's what's going to hide the middle section, and the bones don't have to line up properly. I don't think these guys really mind if their bones are a little, you know, like out of place, out of whack. So there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this on my card with some dimensionals. So let me see if I can find, and I meant to also grab out more of my black dimensionals. I'm kind of sad that I just have edges. I have edges and scissors. If you guys were with me last week, I found my paper snips. I think there was these paper snips were missing in my craft room for like days. I'm not even kidding, days. And it was, I was getting a little, I was like, that's another scary story, right? I could not find them anywhere. I think I threw them in a bin, and I hadn't taken care of anything in the bin. So then they were found eventually. So these black dimensionals are fantastic. Now, these are definitely ones that once you take the paper off the back, you know that you've taken the paper off the back. All that's left is a black dimensional, and that helps to hide your darker, like this dark layer here, right? And then we're gonna repeat here for this one. So I'm just gonna snip here a couple of these, and be as quick as I can about plopping them on here. So this little sign here is just going to go across the middle of my little skeletons. Super fun and cute, and super easy. Now this card, this is our first card of the class, and okay, I admit that I struggled, but I only struggled because I forgot what I was doing for a half a second, and also I didn't have my daubers out. But regardless, here we go. We're going to pop this in here, and you're going to play with this a little bit too, right? However you want to. There's some room to like decide how much of their torso, how much of their legs are you going to show, kind of like so, right? So you see how we made elongated skeletons, and I have to laugh every time I think about just popping those bones and legs and arms on them, because it was a lot of fun. So we're going to bring in a little bit of bling if I can find it. And so as I started to say earlier, this card right here, a lot of ink blending and stamping, but there's no die cutting. There was no punch. I mean, we didn't need to emboss anything. I mean, this is a fun, easy card. This would definitely be a good card if you had kiddos and you wanted to make Halloween cards, because you're just stamping and playing with ink and then assembly, right? So I'm throwing a couple of bats on here, up on the top corner over here. So I'm still creating my little triangle effect, and then putting the little ghosty down there. There goes my cap. Man, I thought I was going to have a really good class tonight. I don't know what's going on, but here's card number 1. I hope you are enjoying card number 1 and laughing along with me. Now, I really like how these, I mean, you could almost make these guys, they're practically high-fiving. I just think they're really fun. So, all right, I'm going to check messages really quickly, make sure everything looks like it's good. Hi, Debbie. She likes the sponging edges. I do like to sponge the edges too. Hi, Linda. Spooky hello. That's so awesome. All right, cool. I'm just checking to make sure everybody's doing good. Thanks, Jess. I'm glad you think this is a fun card. All right, so that's card number 1. I really love the ink coloring on that. So again, a lot of possibilities there with card number 1 to change it up. Now, the second card I'm going to show you is definitely Halloween. Definitely Halloween. I'm using Halloween paper. Now, if you're interested in this Halloween paper, it is coming back in stock on October 9th. So you should be able to get some of this in if you are still looking for Halloween paper. Again, this was one that was out of stock for a bit, but it is coming back. So we are going to work on card number 2 here. And this one, again, is pretty much all Halloween. Like, I've got basic gray, I've got pumpkin pie, right? And you're getting a couple of die cuts here, these little die cut circles for your sentiment piece. And here's to punch out we're going to die cut our dude this time. More pumpkin pie, black. So these are traditional Halloween colors, right? And I threw in the basic gray because I felt like, you know, sometimes it's nice to be able to not have everything black and orange. And also it kind of complements our designer series paper here. So this is the back side. You can always look at the back sides of these too. To see maybe you like the back side better. Now, depending on what you get here, this is a big montage of different patterns, so this will not necessarily be on each one. In fact, I only have one to show you here because I was so low on this paper. This paper says boo and eek, and it's really hard to figure out which way it goes. If you flip it upside down, the B looks like it would go more this way, but then you're reading it backwards. It's oob. So when you read this paper and you're trying to figure out which way it goes, just look for eek. And the boo and the exclamation points are at the end of boo and eek, so that's also a little bit helpful. And we're gonna glue this down right now while we're talking about boo and eek. So here we go. We're gonna just go ahead and put together the bones of our card. Now this is where I like to talk about every week, actually, and not just on Bag of Bones Day, but every week I talk about the bones of your card, because I like to let you know what you're getting and what you can put together without having the bundle that I'm using. And that way you have an idea of what you can do with your card kits, even if you use other products at home, because I know you guys are so clever. I have seen some amazing samples of card kits that were sent out in the mail by me and assembled by other stampers, and they share pictures, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is the cleverest thing ever. I adore seeing when you guys change things up, so I highly, highly recommend you always are changing things up for me. I don't know what happened to, there's a little black piece of paper. There's supposed to be a little black piece of paper. It is in here. Yep, here we go. Okay, extra black paper. Didn't get everything out. There's lots of little things in the card kits every time. Lots of things. All right, so this one right here, you are going to be die cutting at home. I'm not going to die cut or stamp for you from this bundle. So if you have this, you're great. If you don't, you're going to do something else anyway. We're going to work with, not this one. My magnets are sticking together here. Here we go. We're working with these guys. So this one, you can see this cute little fence, which is just slightly crooked. It's not horribly crooked. So you're going to be able to die cut your fence with this. And when you get done, with my little cheat sheet here, you're going to have this cute little fence post right here. So you're going to have your fence, and that can go on this layer as well. Now, when you're putting your fence on, it's skinny, but it's not undoable. I don't even know if that's a word. I might have just made that up. Maybe I meant to say it's doable. Let's go with that. It's Monday, and all things are doable. So we're just going to dot on a little bit of glue, and we're going to pop it on over here. I'm going to kind of come up to the end of the designer paper and just put that on there, and then probably feel glue all over my fingers for a minute. I'll flip it upside down. There we go. Okay, so now my fence is on my little card here, and somewhere I have a card base. That'd be handy, super handy, right? So again, we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. I have been enjoying the dimensionals lately, so I think I might have enough left over here on my scraps. We'll leave this one long. And I know you guys are all doing this at home too, right? We use every little bit of this sheet, not just the little hexagons that they give us in the middle. We're scroungy crafters. We're going to use every bit that we can, and we're going to make sure we have plenty of dimensionals. There we go, empty. I'm going to toss that out, and I have to remember to get another pack of the black ones. Now, when you order the black ones, you actually get some of the large dimensionals, and you also get some of the mini dimensionals. So it's nice that they're the only dimensionals that come in a combination like that. The white dimensionals, you're just buying either all big or all small. Those are your choices. So I'm just going to line this up here on my card base. And I always hold this side up while I kind of guide this side with the dimensionals. And then I'm pretty sure once I have it, I'm confident it looks beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and pop that down. So there we have that part. Now we have a couple things left. We have these die cut circles, and the white one is the one we're going to stamp a boo to you on, and we're going to do this in pumpkin pie. Traditional colors for Halloween, boo to you. Okay, here we go. So there is a nice side to this die cut as well. I'm hoping this is going to come out nicely. Let me just do a quick scrappy. Yep, we're good. So make sure you have the good side up, and then you can do, oh my goodness, I don't know if I had ink on that. Boo to you right in the middle, or ish, right? And there we go, boo to you. So that is our orange, that is the pumpkin pie of our class tonight, boo to you. We're gonna go ahead and glue this onto the black circle. Again, I think I have the right side up. Yes, I do. If you flip it over, there's a rough side and there's a not so rough side. And this boo to you also needs a dimension. Now, as I'm out of the large black ones, am I? Looking through my little case here, I am. I'm going to just bring in some small ones here. So these are the minis. So you can kind of see how much smaller they are. but we're going to put a couple on here. We'll do 3. So this is the sheet of minis, and once you take the backing off, again, they come off a little bit harder, which is one of the reasons I like the bigger ones better. Also, you know, sometimes it's easier on your fingers to get them off. But there we go. Boo to You needs to come upright, and it's going to come down here at the end of our fence, and it's just going to be right like so. Now I realize that if you don't have the fence at home, this is not the whole bones of your card, but I did need to put the fence on, but you will have the circle. So if you don't have the fence, the rest of this is the bones of your card, which is, I think, pretty sweet bones, right? We're going to bring in this this skeleton again, the one from our first card. He's the fully formed skeleton. We're going to stamp him in Smoky Slate, and it's going to bring up some of the gray tones for our card, which is going to be just perfect. So making sure, okay, I have to look for a second, make sure that I'm still on camera here. Sometimes I move around and then I'm like not even in screen. All right, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. I'm okay with this. Actually, I'm really okay with this because I already stamped him. Stamping the skeleton can be a little tricky. Stamping photopolymer stamps can be a little tricky. Now, I had a really hard time getting a good Memento black image of him. Some of the other inks, and I think it's not the stamp, it's the ink pad, and here's why. I stamped him in a ton of different colors, and some of them worked better than others. And again, it's the ink pad, and I did try to take my plastic spoon and squish the ink back in so it wasn't as full on the top. This one is Pebbled Path, but some of them filled in his eye a little bit more than I wanted to. Here's my Smoky Slate. Smoky Slate worked really well. Cajun Craze worked really well. I had a hard time with black. I tried, well, obviously you can see I did the blue really well. The blue came out well. So it's not the stamp. Sometimes when you have problems getting a solid image, try a different ink pad and see if it's the ink. Okay, because there is a difference. Now I took a sand eraser and I scrubbed him. I scrubbed him with my my Stampin' Scrub. I washed him off good. I did the Versamark trick with the ink. I did all kinds of things. He just didn't want to get a clear image on some of the colors, and I'm not sure what to say about that. I mean, I tried almost every trick that I could. Now, what you're going to do though, once he's stamped, is you're going to die cut him. So there's a die right here. And you're just going to line this up and outline him just like this. And then when you die cut, he looks like this. And I think it's really cute. Like, I think this is a really cute little die cut because he has little parts and pieces. Like you can see through his torso here a little bit. He's very well formed. I think that he's quite a handsome little guy. Now we're going to bring in, some scraps. I think minis would work good here, but you can definitely use, again, more scraps if you have some. And I only put dimensionals on the back of his head and on the back of his rib cage. Like, that's the only spot. I did not put anything on his legs or his arms, and he worked out really well on my card. Now what I did was I took advantage of the way his knee is crooked here, and I kind of laid it against the boo sign over here. So I'm going to pop him over here just like this. Oops, now his legs are coming forward because I kind of bent him a little bit. But I could definitely put like a little glue dot or a little bit of glue right there and catch his knee onto the boo sign. I have to hold that down for a second because now it's wet glue and he wants to boing forward. But here he is, Mr. Skeleton, right? And it's super cute, super simple and easy. In fact, I want to show you. I want to share with you where this concept came from. So when you look at other cards, I got this in the card. I got this card in the mail the other day, and my grandson was home when I got it, and it was adorable. This is from Betsy. She's coming to my Christmas stamp camp, so she sent me a card, which I thought was awesome. So Betsy, if you're watching, I love this card, and I loved the layout of the card. And I looked at this card and I thought, wow, okay, so we have a card base, we have a layer, we have some cardstock, we have some more cardstock, we have our main image. So I kind of used that same jumping off point to do layers, cardstock, designer paper. Now obviously the bear's on this side, the skeleton's on this side, but you get the idea, right? There's a lot of things that were changed up, but this actually was my inspiration for the design of this card. And I just, you can get design ideas everywhere you go, right? He needs his bling. We need to find his bling. Here we go, coming back in with some ghosts. Now this guy's getting a couple of ghosts, so I'm going to just pop a couple of these up here, kind of around his head. He just has a couple of ghosts floating around here, and I just think it's so cool. I don't know if the camera's picking up any of this. It's almost like holographic. It's like got blue and orange in it. It's just really cool and pretty. So here is our Boo to You card. Now as I'm looking at these, I realized that in my original I did not put dimensionals on the black base here, the layer base, and I did put dimensionals on this one, and I like it popped up more. The more I use dimensionals, the more I like them. So I'm probably going to start using dimensionals on everything. Okay, so here's our first two cards. We are very skeleton happy here, right? We've got big blue skeletons that are super tall, and then we've got, I just think it's so funny. Okay, we have that one. That's Halloween. We're going to go on to our third card, and this is probably, I like to save the best for last, but this one's a really fun one. This one has the little doggy and the little kitty, and we're going to do a little bit of heat embossing too. And I used the bats in this one for my little glow in the dark, but I also used some glow in the dark paper. Now, here's our little crypt, and I wanted to show you what I did with this. I made it be an opening door, so kind of like a peek through behind, right? So I've got the puppy dog kind of half in and half out, right? And here's the little kitty over here, no bones about it, you're a sweet friend. Now some of these are glow in the dark papers, these little bones right here are glow in the dark. So I just thought that was a super cute, fun card. And again, I am using non-traditional Halloween colors. Let's grab out the kit. I just want to make sure I have everything kind of cleaned up from my last card, because I get miscombobulated a little bit here. There's so much going on. So Azure Afternoon is our card base color. Now this is not a Halloween color, right? In fact, I think this is like a summertime color, but we're using Azure Afternoon. We're also bringing back in Starry Sky. I really like Starry Sky. And we have some grays. Oh, these are Pebbled Path, by the way, if you're wondering what color gray those are. We have black, more Azure Afternoon. We have a little bit of, this is the glow in the dark paper that comes with your card kit. Now remember, so you're getting these are tiny samples. You're getting a little bit with your card kit. If you want a full a single 6x6 sheet, then you bump your order up to 50 with my host code. You get the 6x6 sheet and the glow in the dark embellishments that are no longer available. So check out this paper. Not necessarily Halloween, right? In fact, on the back of it, it is Starry Sky paper. I use some different papers, right? Now you could, if you wanted to, put the Starry Sky on here, which looks like it's not quite cut to the right size. So again, my apologies. I'm like all over the board today. But you would be layering the blue on the blue, and then we would be layering this, and I'm going to be trimming this so it fits a little bit. But I want this to matte. However, I really liked the blue. I just like this blue sky here behind the critters. So we're going to trim this because apparently I didn't do this correctly. We're going to just measure this really quickly, and it is 3 3/3. Write that down, 3 3/4. I'm pretty sure I did it by 4. Paper trimmer coming back in. It's a good thing that all things are fixable in the crafty world here, right? So we're going to do 3 3/4. I think originally I was going to do 4 inches and not mat it, but you know how I feel about mats, right? Okay, now it's going to mat so much nicer. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Stars. I like stars. Now, if you wanted to, of course, depending on which section of the Starry Sky, you would have this one up instead. So again, as we start out the card here, it's not really super Halloween-y. All right, let's put this one together. So we're going to start with our layers, and we're going to start with, I'm putting this Starry Sky down, and I'm putting this Starry Sky up. Okay, so this designer series paper again is 3 3/4 by 4. So when you get it at home, I want you to put your 4-inch length going down this way, right? So 4 inches, 3 3/4 wide, and that's because this paper right here is 4 inches. This is your first mat on a card base, right? And I did put this down flat, so there we go. We're gonna pop this down flat. I can actually not use dimensionals sometimes. I'm gonna see which side I like better of my card base. I like that side better. Okay, so just like that, we are starting the bones of our card, and we haven't even gotten to the bones yet, right? All right, so we're gonna have a black piece that's gonna come here, and we're going to, again, it's gonna overlap your designer paper, but we're focusing on keeping that Starry Sky mat down. So we have that as our background. So I'm going to just bring this in and put this on here. It's going to overlap the designer paper just by a little bit. and come up and over. Now the cardstock, of course, is thicker than the designer series paper, so it's a nice little marriage of paper here, right? When you bring a designer paper down, a thinner paper over a thicker paper, you have that little bumpy, like obviously there's a bump here, but it's less noticeable. It's not like a real thing. Okay, so we have some leftover bits and pieces, and these are all going to be die cut. So if you don't have this bundle, you're not going to be able to do completely everything. But what we're going to do is look for the dies that I was going to show you somewhere. Oh my goodness, I'm losing everything today. Probably my mind is the most important thing that I'm losing. I have dies somewhere. Not that I need them. I did die cut things ahead, but you know, I just wanted to show you what we got. So we've got this nice little outside of our little crypt or tombstone here, right? And then we have this piece right here. Now this is the door piece. So these are the two pieces you're going to die cut, and then you're going to die cut. Oh my goodness, there's a little bone still in here. You're going to die cut this little pack of bones. Now you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 bones, and they're tiny, but you're getting 6 little bones out of here when you die cut that through. And then we are going to worry about doggy and kitty here in a second. Now I already have these two pieces done. So this is what they look like before, and this is what they're going to look like after. So again, you can see there's a total difference here. I like to jazz things up with ink. So let me set those things aside, and let's do our jazzing of the ink. This is going to be Pebbled Path on Pebbled Path. So we're doing kind of tone on tone. So we're gonna, this looks very flat and one-dimensional. We are gonna add in a whole bunch. And when I say a whole bunch, I mean like edges, go to the inside, scruff it up a little bit. We want this to look kind of like it's just kind of, you know, all kinds of things going on there. So I want it to look like this. I want it to be, and it's not like nothing on here is perfect, and it's not meant to be perfect. It's meant to just look like it has like depth and dimension to it, right? So just go ahead and put on however much ink works for you. But you can see totally different from what we started with. Now I do need to bring in my paper trimmer, and it's not because I forgot to do something. It's because we're going to put a little score line in our little door here, and that's going to help us to put this together. And what we're going to do is we're going to line this up. I'll do it hopefully at the top, you can see. So I'm lining this up. Nope, I'm going to, let me think. Right, this, we're going to do the side. We're going to have the door opening. Let's review the door steps here, right? The door opens this way, right? So obviously puppy dog's going to meet the kitty. We don't want the door opening the other way. That would be so rude if he was like exiting. Okay, so we're going to put this in at like 1/4 of an inch. And the top part of this little round is going to hit the top of your trimmer, right? 1/4 of an inch. We're going to score it. Don't use the cutting blade. We're going to use the scoring blade. So just scoring it there at 1/4 of an inch. That's going to give us just enough. We're going to bend this a little bit, right? So it's going to give us just enough to glue down so that we can open our little door. So we are going to put this together by putting adhesive only on this little section here where we got our score line. The rest of it's got to swing open. Now this lines up really nicely. The edge of this lines up really nicely with the detailed score edge right here. So you can just line them up, and it's really simple to do. And that way the whole front piece is even, I mean, it's evenly around. It's exactly where it's supposed to be. So it's not like on, you know, you don't have to guess. You just line those up. And then we're gonna let that glue set a little bit. I'm gonna kind of hold it here, but you're gonna see that you can open it. Oh, I forgot to do the inside of my door. So on this one, I did all of it. I was like, if somebody opens this up, like maybe one of my grandsons, because you know they're young enough to have those books where you like lift the flap. This is kind of how I came up with this card. Small children, small little grandsons running around, right? And I'm like, lift the flap books. This reminds me of a lift the flap. So I wanted it to be lift the flap, and then underneath the flap is little puppy. So I did want to have that kind of completed on the inside and the outside. Of course, you can do however you like at home too. So that takes care of our little tombstone here. Now we have to do some heat embossing. We're going to do our sentiment, and we're going to do puppy dog and kitty cat. So let me bring in all of that good stuff for heat embossing. So for that we need our Versamark. We definitely need our score tool. I love the reverse tweezers. Here's puppy and kitty. They're so cute. I'm really glad that the set isn't just skeletons. I mean, he's fun, but the puppy and kitty make this, oh my goodness, so adorable. All right, so here's the white embossing powder. So we are doing, I mean, there's lots of different ways you can do this, right? You could just stamp black bones on white. I really like the white on the black. I'm getting embossing powder everywhere already. Okay, good. We're gonna just use our emboss buddy and we're gonna get rid of all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna just go ahead and we're gonna do the kitty and puppy dog first. We're bringing in our Versamark. So your scrap here has plenty of room for you to catch both critters on here. So stamp, powder them up. The face of this reminds me a little bit of a panda bear, I have to say. And we're going to do doggy next. And doggy is going to get some embossing powder. There we go. And just like that. So we would be heat setting these, but before we do that, we should do also the sentiment, which I have here. No bones about it, you're a sweet friend. So I thought that would be kind of sweet for our little puppy dog and kitty cat, right? Kind of a sweet friend thing. So we're going to, again, go once more into the Versamark. I use my embossing buddy. This is just going to be in the middle here on the Azure Afternoon. Again, a non-Halloween color, like probably one of the most non-Halloween colors. I mean, other than pastels probably, right? All right, I can see that I have a little bit more powder than I want. I'm looking for a paintbrush. I'm just going to brush a little bit of that off real quick before I heat emboss that. There. So I just use a regular paintbrush to take care of that problem, and then we're good to go. So now we're going to do our heat embossing, but first we cover the powder. We don't want the powder to blow everywhere. We don't want the powder to spill everywhere. And we're going to get the heat tool started. And we're going to do our no bones about it. So I hope you guys are liking this fun class tonight. It's definitely a take on Halloween, but it's not, it could be less Halloween-y if you wanted it to be. I used enough product in here, I think, that you could easily change it up a little bit, other than our middle card. That was definitely Halloween. The other cards have a little bit more play to them. All right, so there's our no bones about it. I'm going to hopefully grab over here my kitty cat puppy dog. So the white is obviously the most bone-like color here on the black, which is really nice. I think that next year Stampin' Up! Should have glow-in-the-dark embossing powder. How cool would that be? Like, I don't know how that's chemically would work, but I think it should be a thing. I think we should all ask Stampin' Up! To do glow-in-the-dark embossing powder. That would be so cool. All right, so when I die cut, I do like to trim my little images apart. We have kitty and doggy right here. So doggy goes over top of here, kitty cat goes over top of here, and somewhere I have them done up ahead of time. Also the bones, if you recall, I said you were going to have some bones. So here's my kitty and doggy. They are super cute. And here's what your leftover paper is going to look like with your bones. And here's all your little glow-in-the-dark bones. So I'm going to set those right over there. Hopefully I'm not losing them. And I'll set these guys aside and we'll finish putting our card together. And this has some white embossing powder on it and all of that kind of stuff. All right, so no bones about it is going to come on here on the black. Cardstock on the bottom here. So I think you can still see that. Hopefully you can still see that. All right, good. We're going to bring this up here. No bones about it. There we go. And now we're going to put this on with dimensionals. So this does need some dimensionals because we have some different layers of cardstock and designer paper going on. So I'm going to do, I think 5 is good. And I did want to tell you to keep these up a little bit higher. I kind of have them up high, but don't go all the way to the bottom, and here's why. When these come over and flip down on here, you could, in theory, have them down too low and it's going to interfere with this black strip. So if you have them up a little bit higher, then they'll hit up here on the designer paper rather than kind of hit this little black ledge that we have going on with our cardstock. And I only know all of these things because I am a layering expert. do a lot of layering, and I learn the hard way. I'm like, oh, darn, that's not going to work. All right, so I'm just going to put this on here. My little door is going to open so cutely. I love it. Now, the puppy dog, I just glued him in here. He doesn't really need to have any dimensional, because when the card goes in the mail, it's going to be closed, right? This little flap will like close down. I only want to put glue though on his back end, not his head, because his head's going to stick out over here. And I'm just going to pop him in here, just making sure that he sticks out over here. How cute is he, right? And of course you can line him up so that you don't see his feet from the bottom. I mean, just super cute. The puppy dog, right? Now, kitty cat needs dimensionals, and kitty cat's gonna need minis. Let me see if I can find, oh, I have black minis right here. And one's on my finger, so that's even better. Came right off. So kitty cat's gonna get a couple of little mini black dimensionals. That works out perfectly. Perfectly! My little kitty's perfect. I love it. Okay, kitty cat's gonna sit here. Now, what I like to take advantage of is this little black ledge, and the way that the body of the cat sits, and then the tail kind of curls around. Like, it's perfect. I don't mean to keep saying that. It really is perfect though. It's just perfect how this little tail sits and curves around. And I just think this is the sweetest card. I absolutely adore this card. Now we have these cute little glow in the dark bones. I actually used one kind of as like the handle for the door. So I don't know if that's quirky or not. Maybe you think I'm crazy. You might think I'm crazy. A little bit of glue on there. We should be good to go. I'm going to put that about where the handle should be on this. And now again, this is glow in the dark paper. So these little bones will glow. And I did add a few down here at the bottom as well. So, you know, you could definitely throw them in wherever you wanted to. I'll just put a couple on here. They are tiny to use. Like, you can see how tiny they are, right? If you wanted to use adhesive backed paper behind them, you could probably avoid, you know, some of the glue gunk. They are harder. Like, I know some people have like those really cute little mini glue nozzle dispensers so that they get the tiniest bit of glue out at a time. I just kind of wing it. I'm just like over here, you know, playing with paper and stuff. I'm going to kind of layer that one that way. We'll pop one more on here, and then we'll add our little bit of bling. And they are tiny. So we're just going to, just a smidge of glue there. There we go. So I use less bones here, but I think we're okay. I think you get the idea of how to create this card. Now the last thing we need to do, I don't want to lose my bone, I'm going to put that back in here. The bats, we used bats on this one. So again, those beautiful embellishments, if I can find them again. Here we go. These embellishments, the first item to be sold out of the catalog that's not even a month along here. It always kind of amazes me that this is the way things go nowadays, right? So just kind of keep in mind whatever you're looking for in the Stampin' Up! World. Just keep in mind all things are temporary. And there we go. Here is our No Bones About It. I think this is the cutest card. Like, this one is my favorite. I like all of the blue that's going on here as well. So here is card number 3. Let's take a look at our other cards here real quickly so that you can see what cards you're getting in your kits this week. We've got our Halloween card there, and then of course we have our other skeleton card here too. So here are your card kits. Halloweeny, not too scary, right? Super cute. Hopefully you're enjoying them. Hopefully you have enjoyed them, I should say. And hopefully the class went well, because I forgot to come over and check out comments again. So Jess likes the crypt opening. Oh, Jess likes the first card. That was a fun card, wasn't it? With the purples and stuff. Thanks. I know the door is really cute. Halloween. Yep. Non-Halloween colors. Not everyone wants to do Halloween. And I totally understand that. And that's why Deb Jurek says glow in the dark embossing powder is a thing. She has some that is so cool. I'm going to have to look for some. That would be awesome. I was just amazed when Stampin' Up! Came out with the glow in the dark things this year. I think it's their first time. In my memory, it's their first time to have the paper and the little embellishments, which I think are super awesome. Why not, right? When I turn my lights down and that stuff is glowing, it's just really cool. But again, not everyone wants Halloween. I totally understand that. Now, the glow in the dark paper is also good for Christmas, so for like your stars, things like that. It would be good for congratulations cards. Definitely things you want to punch out, moons and things like that, rather than stamp. That's my thought on it. I know that some people are stamping on it. It's rough. The ink doesn't apply really well. It leaves it kind of feathery and splotchy, and that's just not my cup of tea. I like things to be a little bit crisper than that. Thanks. Oh, Cynthia says. Fun cards. They are fun cards. So again, if you are interested in the card kits this week, I'm just going to, one more time in case you missed the beginning, the embellishments that I'm using for this class, I have 8 available. So if I run out, if I have a run on embellishments and I run out of the first 8, I'm going to be substituting. So I'm putting a disclaimer out there. I will have to substitute something else in because I cannot get any more of these items. No one can get any more of these items. So if you're really interested in it, make sure you get your order in earlier this week rather than later. And then those little embellishments will be yours. Debbie says, my daughter-in-law is a radiology person. Oh, a skeleton card for her birthday. That is so perfect. I love it. Yeah, these little bones and these little skeletons, they were a lot of fun to play with. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed my class too. Now, remember tomorrow, all kinds of stuff going on tomorrow. If you're interested in taking advantage of the sign up to be a demo, ordering it's a special. It's fantastic. So if you're if you're ordering in October, sign up to be a demonstrator. You don't have to sell. You don't have to do anything other than order and get 20% off. And if at the end of 6 months you haven't spent $300, then you just simply aren't a demonstrator anymore. You wait a month, you can sign up again and get the starter kit all over. Stampin' Up lets you do that. They let you wait a month, sign up again, all over, and you're getting the same good deal, you know, so they always have a good deal on that. So think about that. If you have any questions on that, please reach out. Demonstrators are going to be pre-ordering tomorrow, so you might want to be in that pool of fun pre-order good times. All right, that's it for me. If you have any questions, leave them. I will see you on Thursday at 3 for a fun fold card. I appreciate your time and your comments. I will read through them all later and try to reply to you because I've been so busy. Again, lots of ideas, lots of things brewing. All right, everybody, have a really great rest of the evening. And until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye.